Hey everyone, Jessica Coulter here, and today I want to talk to you about some secrets that you could employ tonight, the eve of Thanksgiving, or just the night before Thanksgiving. So, if you are celebrating Thanksgiving, let me know this message is relevant to you. Just tap that like or heart button for me below. And if you've got a favorite activity that you always do the night before Thanksgiving, whether it's baking something, preparing something, I want to know about it. Let me know below. And if you're excited for Thanksgiving, let me know, use a GIF. Maybe paste an emoji down there for me. So let's go ahead and jump into those secrets. But before we do, I want to tell you a little bit about myself in case you're wondering who you're listening to, if you're just killing some time on your phone, as I've been doing the last couple days as I'm waiting for Thanksgiving and waiting for those test results. But anyway, so again, Jessica Coulter here, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. I help students with the ACT, with their essays, as well as middle school math. So third graders through grad students are my specialty. Now I have a bunch of more contractors. I have a lot of contractors that help with other things. I help with more than that, but that's kind of my favorites. So let's jump into it, guys. The first idea I have for you is communication. So you're wondering, okay, communication, night before Thanksgiving, not what I was expecting. Well, we talked about in my video yesterday and in past videos, a lot of us aren't going to go home for the holiday. A lot of us are choosing to stay at home and celebrate with immediate family, or in my case, just celebrate with myself and a pumpkin pie. But you need to practice those communication skills. So an idea for the night before Thanksgiving, if you guys are planning on calling grandparents or maybe doing some Skype calls with long distance family, well, spend tonight practicing those communication skills. For students especially, this is a great practice to write some interview questions. So think about all the things you don't already know about grandparents. I have a family member who's a teacher, and when she asked her students when their grandparents or even aunts and uncles were born, like what year, let alone month and day, they had no idea. So maybe that could be interview question number one is, when were you born? And then you can think about everything that goes with that. Where were you born? What was the world like when you were born? What's your first memory as a child? Those are all sorts of great questions that are good practice for coming up with those kind of questions, in case you've got a journalist on your hands. Also practicing some research, and also practicing just the act of writing, and knowing your grammar of a question, making sure you know question mark and knowing capital letters, and just thinking about all of the things you want to know. Because, yeah, it's good practice now for kind of a homework assignment, but think about all of the family history you're going to be recording. I mean, if you record it, which is really easy to do on phones and on computers, that's a memory you'll have forever. And maybe your grandkids will have, or maybe, if I'm talking to an adult, that you will have and cherish for however much longer you have whatever family you're talking to. So I want to let you guys know that I have all sorts of tips and tricks just like this in my Facebook group. So if you're looking for some help, whether it's just something holiday related or something to do with school specifically, join my Facebook group. The link's in the description, facebook.com/groups/A's for students. So let's move on to secret number 2 here. Something else that's a lot of fun to do before Thanksgiving is to bake or to cook. I know that seems kind of like the obvious choice. Yes, whenever there's a holiday, there's lots of cooking involved. Well, think about the education required to be able to cook, to be able to bake. You have to know how to do your math. If you're making a meal for 10 people when the recipe calls for 4 servings, you've got to know how to double or triple or even quadruple the recipe. And there's also the science, the chemistry. Why does the bread rise if you're making homemade bread? Or why are those cookies looking a little silly? Like, why are they flat? So there's all sorts of math and chemistry, and maybe even more subjects I'm not mentioning, able to be learned by doing some cooking tonight, or even some baking, or it could be tomorrow. But just think about all of those opportunities that you could be missing out on, mom and dad, if you're just doing all the prep work without making your littles help. So, are we enjoying the video, guys? If you are, wonderful. Let me know by tapping that like or heart button for me. And also, like I said, if you're just joining now and you haven't told me what your favorite Thanksgiving Eve tradition is, I want to know about it. All right. one more idea here, one more secret I want to share with you. We talked about in a previous video how COVID has changed the school schedule. So most of us are going to be in school through June, which I don't know about you, but I'm not totally looking forward to that. It's going to be weird. But also think about finals. So normally finals are before winter break or Christmas break, whatever you call it. Well, this year a lot of schools are having semester 2 start in January. And it's not the beginning of January like we're used to. It's going to be after Christmas break. So think about that. So the secret here is sometime during Thanksgiving break, before your kiddos go back to school or before you go back to school, think about your plan. Come up with your goals. Come up with your study strategies. Because, I mean, if you're like me, you're used to studying and kind of ramping up for finals over Thanksgiving break. Well, I mean, some kids have homework. Some kids don't have homework over Thanksgiving break. I know that's a whole issue of itself. But think about what Christmas break or winter break is going to look like. You're going to have a project to work on. Do you need to mentally prepare to not be done with semester 1 when you go back? So that's something I strongly encourage you to do, whether it's tonight or sometime between now and going back to school on Monday. So that's everything I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you want any more tips, tricks, or strategies for school, join my Facebook group. The link's in the description, facebook.com/groups/A's for students, so you can get the help you need or the help your student needs so you guys can be successful. Thanks so much. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.